Hello, everyone. As I try to get this adjusted for inside pitch, had the camera set up for season ticket, so a little bit different setup and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get the what do you call it? The webcam to point in the right direction. I think we're okay now as I'm looking at things. Welcome to the next game in the 1977 National League replay. We're on Sunday, April 24th. Hello, Mr. Ben. Good to see you. So we are at Sunday, April 24th, San Francisco and Montreal. We are from Olympic Stadium, or otherwise known as Stade Olympique. RJL says it better than I do. I can't say it with a French accent, so I'm not even going to try. All right, so it's Don Stanhouse, Stan the Man Unusual. He got more well known with the Orioles as a closer, driving Earl Weaver crazy than he did as a starter with the Expos. Of course, he had 31 relief appearances, 16 starts, so he kind of did whatever they needed him to do. And Jim Barr on the mound for the Giants. So Giants are going to raise the bar, see if they can raise the bar anyway in this ball game. See the starting lineups for both teams and the benches and the bullpens for both teams. Got dice close as I can get to Montreal colored dice, so that's what we're going with. Daryl Thomas will step into the batter's box and lead off for the Giants. Now, I was asked a couple of rules questions in the comments on a previous video. So before I start the game, I want to go over those. And Ben, I'm glad you're here because if I don't get this exactly correct, maybe you can fill me in or fill in anything I might leave out. But I basically got asked two questions. One is, how do you handle on a pitcher card? How do you handle the home run question mark play? So the way that's done is if, let's say, we roll a 6-5, that's what it would have to be. Doesn't matter what the D20 says. 6-5. Well, for now it doesn't. I'll show the D20 in a second. But 6-5 would take us to home run question mark. So the first thing you got to do is figure out what side of the plate the hitter is coming from. Thomas, in this case, is a switch hitter. Stanhouse is a righty, so that means he's batting left-handed. So we come over here to the home run question mark, and there's a category for left-handed batters and right-handed batters. I believe the number 12 is the number of home runs he gave up on the season, but don't quote me on it. But this tells you here what kind of range to check for. In other words, when you look at this, Stanhouse, very susceptible to giving up home runs to lefties because of the 1 through 20. Whereas on right-handers, we have to roll a 1 in order to check home run rates for the batter. But in this case, he's facing a lefty, Thomas. So no matter what we roll, it's going to fall into this 20 category. Ballpark has nothing to do with it. It will have something to do with it when we get to the batter card, but it has nothing to do with this particular part right here. So he's instantaneously going to have a home run chance against a left-handed batter. So what do we do then? Well, we don't do what the other channel does and leave the dice in the tray to clutter things up. We make a nice clean tray and we roll. Now, we said 5, it's going to fit everywhere. But now we come over to Daryl Thomas and check to see if Thomas, in fact, hits a home run. We're going to keep that 5 roll we just rolled because I no need in re-rolling it again. I rolled a 5, so we'll keep it there. Daryl Thomas' home run against right-handed pitching is only a 4. So this fails. He cannot get the home run. He does not hit the home run because the 5 is greater than the 4, and there's no adjustment from the stadium. So what that means is we treat this then as a blank, and then Daryl Thomas would swing away. Now, if he's facing a right-hander, Rob Andrews, and we get that 6-5 roll, well, that's a 1. So the only way we're going to check for a home run is to roll a 1. We rolled a 7, so it's over that number. So right there, blank, and move on, just like we hit a blank. So that's kind of basically the nuts and bolts of that. Part 2. The other question I was asked is, how does an outfielder throw somebody out on the base paths? Well, that comes to our running chart. So on the outfield running chart, you're going to get a number based on where the balls hit, the running speed of the runner, and the outfielder's arm. So whatever number we get, 1 through 5, is going to be checked via the dice. If it's a 6, he gets the base automatically. So 1 through 5. But in that checking, if we roll a 6, then we come over to this chart. That brings us here when you roll a 6. And it's based on the outfielder's arm. If the outfielder has a really good arm, like a -2 arm, then that means in this blue section, 1 through 5 of another D6 roll will send us to a throw chart. A 6 means the runner is going to hold. Now, if you've got a poor arm in the outfield, like a +2, then only a 1 would send us to this chart. 2 through 6, the runner is going to hold, and those values go everywhere in between. And then when you get to these charts, that's when the outfielder can throw somebody out. So, but it has to be a 6. That's the only way we get to this, is to roll a 6. And then you go by the outfielder's arm that threw the ball. Is he a -2 arm, +2 arm, or somewhere in between? Match up the 1 to 6 range in this blue area, re-roll the D6. If it falls within that range, we go to this chart. If it's out of that range, then we go to the white chart, which says all runners hold. So hopefully, hello, Mr. Al. So hopefully you guys that play this game a lot and know it in depth, is there anything else that maybe I could add to that for this person? So if not, I'm going to go ahead and go on. I explained it the best way I knew how to explain it. So hopefully, yes, outfield hits only, because infield hits are not done by, they're done by base running only. The infielders have no, the infielder's arm has no implementation on base running, just the outfielder's arm. Infielders' arms or infielders running on base hits is automatic, no matter who the infielder is. You go by these numbers. There's no adjustment there. So hopefully that those two explanations were sufficient. And now we're ready to get this game going from Stade Olympique. So it is Don Stanhouse facing it off against Daryl Thomas. And we're underway. And we might get one of those results during this game. You never know. 4-5 is a walk plus, and he walks at an 11. Plus makes it a 21, so the 4 obviously falls in that range. So Daryl Thomas will draw the base on balls. Now, can he get a lead? His attempt is a 4. 0 adjustment from Stanhouse. 1 to 4, he gets the lead. 5 or higher, he's got to hold. He's a 5, so he cannot do it. Now, it does open up a potential hit and run for Rob Andrews. However, I don't think you're ever going to see a hit and run on this channel, because I just don't like the hit and run. I really don't like it. So we're not going to hit and run. So Stanhouse facing Andrews. 1-2, that's a strikeout chance. 11 is going to be way too high for that. So treat it as a blank and move on. 5-1 is a ground ball to first. That's a possible double play. But going to first, you don't get that boost of being halfway. So we just go with whatever's there. That's a 1. Pitcher is a 0. Infield gets nothing. It stays a 1. The pivot is the shortstop. And the pivot at short for Montreal is Foley. He's a 0. So only way they get the double play is on a 1. That's the only way it happens. And they get a 1. How about that? It's a 3-6-3 double play. Not going to see that happen very often. 2 down. Yes, Ben. I'm a firm Earl Weaver believer. I think the hit and run is the worst play in baseball. And you're just 2 out of 3 things can happen. Or there's 3 things that can happen, and 2 of them are bad. Strike them out, throw them out. That's 2 things that can happen. So, or actually, strike them out, throw them out, or a line out double play. So there's a couple things that can happen that are bad. I just don't like it. It takes the power away from the hitter. It makes the hitter swing at maybe a bad pitch. I just don't like the hit and run. Just don't like it. But that's just me. Everybody else can do what they want and manage the way they wish. Stanhouse to Madlock, 5-4, and that's a strikeout chance to a right-handed hitter. You see that line there? We're on the right-hand side for Madlock, who's a righty. So it's a strikeout chance. That's a 3. He is a 3. The stadium doesn't change that. So Madlock will strike out. A very rare strikeout for Bill Madlock. And that's going to take care of the Giants here in the first. They go quietly. We go to the bottom of the first. San Francisco nothing, and the Expos coming to bat, and Jim Barr is going to be your pitcher for the Giants. Here is Dave Cash. 6-4, that's a strikeout, and that's a 4. And again, he is a 4. Stadium doesn't adjust it. So with these low numbers on the D20 are catching some strikeouts. And now we got an inter-squad game between Jim Barr and Tim Foley. Another one of my pet peeves about them not carding players in both uniforms when they're traded. Now when they're going to play each other's teams, it looks like an inter-squad game. Hello, Tim. Good to see you. So we got an inter-squad game going here. As Barr faces Foley. 1-3, that is a pitcher result. But against a right-hander, it's blank. So we treat it as a blank. Go to Foley. Foley will soon be traded to these Giants, so we won't deal with that later on. 5-4 is a ground ball to short. 2 down. So 2 away for the Crow, Warren Cromartie. 5-5, that's a wild pitch, but nobody on base, so we treat it as a blank. That's the only thing from version 4 I'm carrying over to version 3. Not re-rolling on the pitcher, but going straight to the batter. 4-5, and that's a single to short. So knocked down over there by shortstop Daryl Thomas, but not able to make a play. And now Cromartie has a steal attempt of 2. Pitcher doesn't change it. 1-2 gets the lead. That's a 1. I know it's just about gone, but that is a 1. So he does get the lead. If he wants to steal, 15 minus 2 is a 13. The catcher, Mark Hill, is a +1, brings it to a 14. So 1-14, he's going to do it. And he's caught stealing there with a 20. So Cromartie caught stealing as Andrews puts on the tag, and that's going to do it for the Expos. So we go to the second, no score. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. The D20 is definitely evil. No matter what, I can use a white one, a blue one, a gray one, green one. It doesn't matter. They're all evil when I use them. They just, some very strange outcomes is all I'll say about it. All right, here's Darrell Evans, the batter. I don't have a white crayon. I don't even have any white out. I could probably take some white out, but I know what it is. I mean, when you roll the D20, when you see this thing, the only thing it could be is a 1 because there's nothing else there. So it is a 1. 2-1 is a possible error on a throw. Probably just need to buy a new red D20. Probably solve the whole problem. Let's see, 4-6 is a fly to center, so there's no throw to worry about. No error to deal with, and Evans flies to center, and here comes stretch, Willie McCovey. 3-6 is a strikeout. 6 is going to get him. Second strikeout, but I'm cheap, so I spend money very frugally. All right, so here's Jack Clark. 4-2, that's a strikeout chance. 13 is going to get him. So third strikeout, and that will end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the second. Still no score. And here is Tony Perez. Yeah, Dice Emporium is where I bought a bunch of colored dice at one point, but don't know if I'll do that anymore. I've got enough dice over there. So Jim Barr to Perez, 4-1. That's a strikeout chance against a righty. He strikes out at an 11. That's a 9. He's going to strike out. That's number 2 for Barr. And Perez is gone. Hello, Kenyon. Parrish now the batter, 4-5. That's a walk plus to a lefty, but righty is blank. So we go to Parrish. 2-6, that's a ground ball to third, and Madlock takes care of it. 2 down, And that brings up Dell Unser. 5-4, and that's a possible error on a throw. 5-6, that's a single to right field. There is no throw because there were no runners on base. So it's simply going to be a single for Unser. And now, can he get a lead? He's a 2, but it's only a 6 stolen base. So even if he got the lead, he's not going to try it. He does not. And here's Gary Carter. 5-4, that's another possible error on the throw. 2-1, that's a single to third. So again, no throw necessary. Single to third, Unser will have to stop at second base. He only runs at a 1, so he's not going anywhere. Even with 2 outs, he's only a 2, so he cannot advance any further. First and second now. 2 down for the Hawk, Andre Dawson. Unusual to see him batting 8th, but he is a youngster at this point. Barr, the veteran. I guess he's a veteran. 4-2, and that is a possible error on a ground ball. 5-4 is a ground ball to first, so it is a possible error on McCovey. His error rating's a 9, but that's a 17, so McCovey will field it and flip to Barr covering, as I always do on error checks in this game. And that's going to end the inning. You don't have to. That's just my way of doing it. Much like in Strat with a ground ball C or an X chance, same thing. Just kind of adopted it from that. There is no rule in the rule book that says to do that. Yeah, it seems kind of weird, Ben. I don't see any reason to do that. I've watched games and I've seen the ball get away when they throw it in, but the runner usually never get. Usually somebody's backing up the play, and I don't think I've ever seen it where they've ever. It's not Little League. We're not throwing the ball around. Somebody's not going to get an inside the park home run on 3 throwing errors. So, like I said, my opinion, just my opinion. So everybody's entitled to their opinion. We still have free speech in this country, so everybody's entitled to their opinion. But the 2 things I would fix, I'm beating this dead horse to death, but I'm going to keep beating it, is trader players should have 2 cards. They don't have to be split stats, but they need to have, you can have the full stats and just put them on 2 separate colored cards, one each team card. They need to have that, and the cookie cutters for lefty righty players that have like 300 or 400 at bats. They ought to be rated for splits regardless of how few at bats they had against the other side. Because obviously, if a guy has 350 at bats and has 13 at bats against lefties, that means he can't hit lefties. So the game should penalize you for that in some form or fashion. Even just a couple of notations, just to pretend that you care that there's splits there. That's just my opinion. I'll get off my soapbox now and keep playing. 1-4, strikeout, 5, got him. 4th strikeout. Great game otherwise. I mean, it's right up there with Stratomatic. I mean, they're 1A and 1B. So here's Mark Hill, 3-5, and that's a ballpark card going to Stade Olympique for the first time. 1-3, and that's a single plus to center field. So Hill will get the single. He has a chance to extend it for a double. In fact, he has to try per the rules. There's not optional. He only runs at a 1. Center fielder arm Dawson here is a 0. I guess he didn't get his good arm yet. So on a 1, he will advance to second base for a double. 2 through 5, he is going to hold. 6, he might be out. So it's a 3. He's going to hold with the single. So 1 away, and here's the pitcher, Jim Barr. He's got a 4 bunt rating. He's only a 132 hitter. So even though there's 1 out, I still think it makes sense to bunt and put Mark Hill in scoring position. So first thing we're going to do is check the havoc, make sure nothing's going on. Then we're going to check for strikeouts. 5-2 is a walk plus, but that's a 20, so he will not walk Barr. So now Barr will get the bunt down, or at least attempt to bunt, I should say. The white die is going to tell us who it's bunted to, and that is to the pitcher. So it's going right back to Stanhouse. And now he's a 4 bunter, becomes a 3 bunter. So on a 3 bunter, a 1 to 12 is a good bunt. Anything else above 12 is risky. That's an 11, so it's a good bunt. So it's a good bunt back to the pitcher. So Barr gets the bunt down, sacrifice hit 1-4 as the second baseman. Cash was covering first base as the first baseman, Perez, was charging. So there's 2 away, and Hill goes to second base for 2 outs now. Runner in scoring position for Darryl Thomas. Thomas walked his first chance. Hill only runs it a 1, so it's going to take a big hit from Thomas to get him in. 2-5 is a blank. Go to Thomas. 5-1. It's a single pass third, but that's not going to score the run. As slow as he is, he's going to have to hold. So Thomas, though, could think about getting a lead. And again, in case you were curious as to why I held the runner, on an S5, to score from second, you have to have a 5 or better to score from second. He's only a 1 with 2 outs. He's only a 2, so he's far from it. So now Thomas has an attempt of 4. Cannot get the lead, so he will hold, and Rob Andrews is your batter. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. 4-2, strikeout chance 9, too high. Go to Andrews. 5-4, that's a fly to center field, and that's going to end the inning. So Giants leave a couple on. Stanhouse pitches out of the mess, and we're still scoreless as we go to the bottom of the third. And Mr. Stanhouse will lead it off. A 191 hitter is Mr. Stanhouse. (6-1) is a blank, so we go to Stanhouse. 4-1, and that is a fly to center field. And there's 1 down as Gary Thomason makes that catch in center. Here's Cash. 3-3 is a blank. We go to Cash. 5-6, that's a single right to Barr. He knocks it down but has no play. And Cash is aboard. His attempt is a 4. Cannot get the lead. So here comes the inter-squad game between Foley and Barr again. 4-1, strikeout. 14 is too high. Go to Foley. 4-5, and that is a ground ball to third, possible double play. He's a 2. -1 drops it to a 1. Halfway brings it back to a 2. The pivot at second base for the Giants is Andrews, and his pivot is, where's your pivot here? Why does this thing have his pivot on here? Arm. Okay, it's under arm, not pivot. So it's a 0. I'm getting used to these Rombo score sheets. So it is a 0. So it's going to maintain a 2. So 1-2, and we get a double play. We do not. It's actually a 6, so the runner is going to advance. The only play is going to end up being a 6-3 ground out. And Cash will advance to second base with 2 outs for Warren Cromartie. Cromartie. 4-6, strikeout chance. That's an 11. He's only a 4. Move on to Cromartie. 3-6. That's a power result to center field. It goes to 16 against right-handers. That's an 11. That's going to fall in the 10-13 range. That will be a double. That is an RBI double for the Crow, Warren Cromartie. And them not being able to get the force on Cash cost them a run. Expos lead it 1-0. That's a 1, so he could try to steal third, but I don't think it's really pertinent. He's in scoring position already, and you got Tony Perez at the plate, so why run yourself out of an inning? They're going to let Tony swing away. 4-5, and that is a blank to the right-hander. 6-1's a fly to left to end the inning. So the Expos get a run. And at the end of 3, it's 1-0 Montreal. Stanhouse will be facing Madlock, Evans, and McCovey, heart of the order for the Giants. Madlock, a rare strikeout his first chance. 2-1, possible error on the throw. 2-4 is a ground ball to short, so we're checking the throwing error chances of the shortstop, Tim Foley. His error is a 6. That's an 11, so there's no throwing error. Foley will throw him out. 1 down. Hello there, Mr. Steve. I could have used you this morning or this afternoon. My 7th inning stretch music, I wasn't able to get that to play, and I needed a ukulele, but that's okay. We were there in spirit. All right, here's Darrell Evans. 2-5 is a blank. We go to Evans. 6-6, that's a power result to center field. It goes to 9. That's a 3. That's going to be a single for Darrell Evans. So Evans reaches on the 1-out single. His attempt is a 2 to get the lead. He cannot get the lead. He will hold for stretch, Willie McCovey. (5-1) pitcher result against the lefty McCovey. A 1-13 is an automatic out, but that's a 15, so it's blank. Go to McCovey. 1-5 is a double to left field for Willie McCovey. Now the question is, can Evans score? Evans runs at a 3. There are not 2 outs, so he keeps the 3. The double to left is actually going to cost him 1, so that's going to drop him to a 2. The left fielder arm in Montreal is Cromartie, and he's a +1, so that brings it back up to a 3. So 1-3, and Evans will score to tie this game. 4 or 5, he holds. 6, he might be out. That's a 6, so there we go. I was giving that demonstration when the game started, so we're back here again, and we did a 6. Now, the arm of Warren Cromartie is a +1. So we go over here to +1, and we look in this blue section, a 1 and 2. So if we roll a 1 or a 2, we go to the throw chart. 3 through 6, the runner's merely going to hold. That's a 5, so that means the runner's going to hold at third base. He is not out. He just holds at third base. So second and third now, with only 1 out. Infield's going to come in. Infield's going to come in. They don't want to give up a cheap run on a ground out, so they'll take their chance with the infield in. Nothing on the strategy. Stanhouse, 2-6, possible error. Go to Clark. 6-2, that's a single to third base, but it's no longer an error chance because, once again, we go to our chart. An error chance on a single is a number 4 where it says infield single ? No error check. Roll 1d6 versus the hitter's BR. If the roll is higher, batter is out. All runners are going to advance. So regardless, the runner on third is going to score. Evans, he will score. McCovey will take third. The only question is Jack Clark safe or out? His BR is a 4. That's a 1. He beats it out. Infield hit for Jack Clark. And we have a tie ball game. Tie ball game. Now Jack Clark could possibly get in the scoring position. He's a 3 to get the lead. Doesn't get it. So he will hold. And Gary Thomason's your batter. Now the Expos have a decision. They got runners on the corners. Thomason's only a 2 double play rating. So infield halfway gives him a 3. Still about a 50-50 chance. They're going to play the infield back. They're going to play back, try to get that double play. That's a 20. So anytime you roll a 20 now, we're going to bring in the pickoffs and the balks and everything else. So we're going to re-roll the D20. A 1 to 2 is a pickoff. A 3 is a pickoff error. 4 or higher, it's no play. That's a 1. So he's going to pick off, and it doesn't make any sense to pick the guy off a third. I know he's a lead runner, but to me, you're going to pick off Jack Clark with the pitcher, not the catcher throwing to third. So I'm homebrewing this to be a pickoff at first base. That's what makes sense to me. So now there are 2 outs with McCovey at third, and the infield can go back to normal. But I just think it's ridiculous when you got runners on the corners and it's a pickoff, to say the catcher threw it to third to pick him off, because that's just wonky to me. To me, the pickoff's by a pitcher, he's going to be going after the guy on first. So that's the way I'm playing it. If you want to play it differently, obviously you're free to play the game any way you wish. All right, so Stanhouse facing Thomason. 5-6, that's the ballpark card. The little @ sign takes us to Stade Olympique. 2-4, and that's a single to center field, and that will be a base hit, and that will give the the Giants the lead. So Thomason base hit. The Giants take a 2-1 lead now, and Thomason has an attempt of 3. Cannot get the lead, so we go to Mark Hill. So by doing that, I gave the Giants a run, but to me, that's just still, I'm going by what makes sense. 6-4 is a strikeout chance. 12 is too high. We go to Hill. 5-4, and that's a star 5, which is a ground ball to second to end the inning. But 2 runs come across for the G-men, and they lead the Expos now 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Oh, good. That's what the rules say. Good. Then at least that made sense then. Thank you for that clarification, Ben. I know you got to do that if the guy had been on third by himself, obviously a pitcher doesn't usually throw over there. So I can see then at that point the catcher making a snap throw. But when you got a guy that has a chance to steal a base, to me, that's the one you go after. So it's 2-1 Giants. And here's Larry Parrish. 6-5, and that's a range play. So we're going to Parrish's card for a range play on one of the fielders. 6-4, and that's a single to right, but it could be taken away. Giant right fielder Jack Clark, his range is a 5. So 1-5, and the single is taken away. And it is. So Parrish is retired on a nice play by Jack Clark, a young Jack Clark, obviously. Young Jack Clark. So 1 away, and here's Unser. 4-6, and that's a strikeout chance. 3 is going to get him. Struck him out. That's strikeout number 3 for Mr. Barr. So there's 2 down for Gary Carter. 1-3. That's a pitcher result with the Riddler. I call it the Riddler play because it looks like the Riddler's outfit almost, with all these question marks. 1-3 is pitch result, but the right-handed batter is a blank. So we go to Gary Carter. 4-4, and that's a fly to left, and the inning's over. So we go to the 5th. Is 2-1, favor the G-men. And Jim Barr, the pitcher, will lead off for the Giants. He had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. 1-2, a strikeout chance, and that's a 20, and that's a 20, so he got him. And for Stanhouse, that is strikeout number 5. Flip the order over to Daryl Thomas. 5-3 is a blank. We go to Daryl Thomas. 3-6, and that's a single to left field. So Thomas has a chance to get the lead with a 4 or less. Does not do it. He will hold. Here's Rob Andrews. 2-2 is a blank. We go to Andrews' card. 6-2, star 5. That is a ground ball to second, possible double play. He's a 1, 0. They're halfway, becomes a 2. The pivot at shortstop. Foley is a 0. So it's a 1-2 for a double play. They do not turn it, so it will be, let's see, he runs at a 4, but being held, so he's actually going to get the base to second base. Or maybe, Ben, you can clarify that for me. I'm trying to remember on the rules. If his number matches, does he get the base? I think this has to be higher for him not to make it. He's a 4 base runner. Technically being held, he drops into a 3, and I rolled a 3. But I think this die has to be higher than his BR rating. So to me, he gets second base. So it's going to be, yep, only play it first. That's what I thought. Okay. Makes sense to me. So Thomas will move over to second base. And with 2 outs now, Bill Madlock, that's a 1, but we're not going to steal third when Madlock's at the plate. 6-4, strikeout 12 too high. We go to Madlock. 3-2, and that is going to be a fly to left, and that will end the inning. So nothing doing there. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's still 2-1. So Andre Dawson, number 8 hitter in the lineup, steps to the plate. Oh, cool deal, Ben. Good to see you. Good to see you enjoying yourself. I know I'm enjoying retirement. I can tell you that. I have not been bored at all. I did kind of overdo it yesterday. I figured if I want to get some yard work done, I better do it yesterday while it was still in the mid 80s before all the heat got here. But I cleaned up a lot of debris and whatnot, and at the time I didn't feel too bad about it. But boy, this morning and this afternoon, my back has been feeling it. Been on the heating pad a couple times. Hopefully, it'll be better tomorrow. Just when you're not used to all that physical activity, and you do try to do a whole bunch in one time, it kind of. And of course, my mind says I can do it. My body says, "The hell you can." So that's what being 60 is all about. It's your body telling you can't do this crap anymore. All right, 4-5, and that is a walk plus to a lefty, but not to a righty. It's a blank to a righty. Dawson, 4-3. That's a liner right to second base, so he lines it hard to Andrews, 1 away. And here's Stanhouse. Yeah, I mowed grass last Wednesday. Our neighbors mowed the grass today. But I'm like, I would like the grass to be green in another week. I don't want, if I mowed it today, it would be brown by Wednesday. It'd be like hay, and you could walk on it would crunch. So I'm trying to keep the green in the grass. And without any rain, it's probably not going to go up that much higher. 6-3, that's a possible error. Stanhouse. 1-2, that's a ground ball to third. But checking the error on Madlock, his error rating is an 11, but that's a 15. So Madlock will not make the error, and Stanhouse is retired. One 4 is a strikeout chance, but Cash doesn't strike out much, so he will hold on and get to swing. 3-3, ground ball to short. And that will do it as Mr. Thomas takes care of him. And at the end of 5, it's still 2-1. Favors San Francisco. Stanhouse back out. He can face 25 batters. Right now, he has faced 21. So we'll keep an eye on him as far as fatigue goes. Darrell Evans, he started the rally in the 4th inning with a base hit. See what we can do here. 6-4, that's a strikeout chance. 16, though, is too much. We go to Evans. 6-1, star 3, ground ball to short. Foley will take care of it, 1 away. Here's Willie McCovey. Hello, Colin. Good to see you. Willie McCovey. 6-5. That's a home run question mark. And here, that was another learning point I was trying to show when the video started. Home run question mark. Stanhouse's home run question mark is automatic against the lefty. It's 1 through 20. It's automatic. Willie McCovey's home run against right-handed is automatic unless the stadium adjusts it, which in this case it does not. So we don't even have to roll for anything because that's a 1 through 20 and that's a 20. So it's a home run for Willie McCovey. The only way McCovey wouldn't hit a home run is maybe in the Astrodome when it's a -1 home run effect. But other than that, that's a home run. Gone on both checks, as they say. So the person who asked me that about those particular ways to do those things, there you saw we've had both of them in this game already. So whether you got to see it in the beginning in theory or got to see it in practicality, in action, there you have it. It's now 3-1 Giants, by the way. 3-5 is the ballpark card going to Stade Olympique for Jack Clark's at bat. 5-6, ground ball to short. 2 down, and that'll bring up Gary Thomason, the center fielder. 2-4, and that's a walk plus. So we add 10 to his walks, which makes it a 24. So the 19 obviously fits, and that will be a 2-out walk to Thomason. His attempt is a 3. Nope, too high. Nothing happening there. Now, Stanhouse is fatigued because now he has faced 25 batters. This is batter 26 coming up. So that batter right there was his fatigue batter. If he finds the parentheses roll, he's going to have to be taken out of the game automatically. 3-4, that's a blank. We go to Mark Hill. 2-4, that's a ground ball to short to end the inning. But the Giants pick up another run, and that's going to be it for Stanhouse, I do believe. They will go ahead and make the move, even though his turn at bat does not come up for a while, but he's been iffy the last few innings, so they're going to go ahead and cap him off at 6 innings. He's going to go 6 innings. He did give up the 1 home run. Base hits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits, and 3 runs, all earned. And checks walks and strikeouts. He walked quite a couple anyway. 1 here, 1 here. That's 2. And did he walk anybody else? Nope, just the 2. And he struck out a total of 5. And he's on the hook for the loss. And we'll figure out who the new pitcher is going to be, depending on what the Expos do this inning. Whether they get a run or 2 and catch up, or whether they stay behind 3-1. Could make a difference. All right, inter squad game again with Tim Foley leading off against Jim Barr. 4-5, and that's a blank. It's a walk plus to a lefty, but blank to a righty. Foley, 1-5, power result to center. It goes to 1-12, but that's a 20, so it's just a deep fly to center field as it's out of range. And there is 1 away for the Crow. Hello, Jimmy Jan. 4-5. I was trying to think of a good thumbnail. I was trying to get a good Expo thumbnail, but I couldn't find a good picture of a 77 Expo. So other than the baseball card, I didn't really want to use that. So I found that one of Jack Clark, decided to use that since he was in his orange jersey. All right, so 4-5. Where was I? Did I just roll that, or did I? Now I'm trying to remember what I did. Got distracted and trying to remember what I did. So let me go back in my video on my phone here that I'm following along and see what the heck I did. See if I actually rolled that already. All right, so I'm looking at Foley's at bat, which he flew to center with the failed power result. And now I go to Cromartie and see if that's the original roll for Cromartie or whether that's the second roll. I don't remember which. Was it a 4-5? Yes, it is. Okay, so that's the original roll for Cromartie. So 4-5 is a walk plus. He walks at a 5, but the plus makes it a 15. That's a 12, so that will be a walk. Stadium doesn't change anything. So Cromartie has reached base all 3 times. He has been caught stealing once, but he single, doubled, and walked. 3 does not get the lead to steal. And that'll bring up Tony Perez. For 3, and that is a strikeout chance. 18 is too much. We go to Perez. 2-2, and that's a star 5, which is a fly to center. That's out number 2. Barr can face 27 batters, so he's still good to go. Here's Parrish. 6-6, strikeout 18, too much. We go to Parrish. 1-4, that's a fly to right field, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Expos here in the 6th. We go to the 7th with the score still 3-1. Jim Barr, your leadoff man for the Giants and the Expos. Double D, that's what the rules say, but that's, like I said, you can play the way you want to. You can amend them for sure if you wish, but in that area, it's kind of always kept it the same. So now we need to go to the bullpen for the Expos. And they will go to, they don't really want to double switch because they don't want to lose anybody in the heart of their lineup. So there's not going to be a double switch. So they will go with Bill Atkinson, a right-hander. He will come in and pitch. And he'll be facing Barr, Thomas, and Andrews. Will Bill Atkinson. He was 7-2, 7 saves, and a 3.35 earned run average. 1-1. That's a home run question mark, and we're right back to it again. 1-19, 17 fits, but Jim Barr has 0 home runs, so it won't be a home run. But Barr will swing it. 5-2 is a fly to left field. So Atkinson let one get away, but it was fortunate for him. Barr was batting, so that didn't hurt his cause any. Back to the top of the order for Thomas. 1-4. That's a hit by pitch. He's a 3, -10, so that takes that away. Go to Thomas. 4-6. That's a liner right to second base. That is snagged over there by Cash, and there's 2 down for Rob Andrews. 2-3. It's an automatic out with a star line. And the out will be a 3, ground ball to second. So Atkinson, 1-2-3 inning. He is scheduled to bat 4th this inning, so if he does not come to bat, he will come out and pitch again. But we shall see how they want to play it. But we are at the 7th inning stretch. And if I can get it to work this time, then we'll have a 7th inning stretch. Don't know what was going on this morning. I don't know what the story was on that, but now I'm waiting for my phone to restart because my battery was dying and I didn't realize it. I just plugged it in. It's down to 2%, and I tried to get to the video and it conked out before I could get there. So pregnant pause while we do all that. Batters for the Expos, Unser, Carter, Dawson, and a pinch hitter for Mr. Atkinson if we get that far. Tabby is out in the hallway. She's still mad about getting her hair cut, so she's been kind of just moping around a little bit this evening, so we're just letting her be, figuring she will be up to snuff and back to her usual self tomorrow when she forgets about everything. That's the hope anyway, that's what happens. All right. 3-1 ball game. Giants lead the Expos. And, of course, we're going to attempt a 7th inning stretch. I'm going to stretch one way or the other. The only question is, will we have music? That's the only thing that's a question. We're certainly going to try it. No, now it messed up on me again. Come on. All right, sorry about that, folks. Technical difficulties once again. And I know you're going to tell me they don't have technical difficulties on that other channel, but that's all right. The other channel's not doing as much stuff as I'm doing either, so we're just going to go with it. Yeah, double D. There's no question. Home brews are not a bad thing whatsoever. All right, so we're gonna shoe the music and just forget about it. You can picture if he's still around, Steve playing his ukulele, if in your mind's eye, if you wish. Anyway, here's Unser. Barr to Unser. 5-4. That's a possible error on a throw. 1-2. That's a double to center field. There is no throwing chance because we're not going to do that ridiculous version 4 crap they were talking about throwing the ball away like they're Bad News Bears or something. Yes, you were correct, Colin. The other channel does definitely play checkers, but we were playing chess here. Not so much in this game, but definitely in Strat. This game a little more looser in because it's just the nature of the game. But Strat is serious business. All right. Barr to Carter. Nothing happening. 3-2. That's a blank. We go to Carter. 6-2. It's a ground ball to third. Now, the only way the runner Unser can get to second base, or third base rather, is on a 6. He does not. He has to hold. So he will hold, and that will bring up Dawson. Now, a pinch hitter has come out on deck. You can see on the bench who the Expos have on their bench to pinch hit. Left-handed wise, they only have 2 lefties, Jorgensen, and they have Garrett. Wayne Garrett, 270 hitter, is picked up a bat, and he is going to be batting for Atkinson. So Atkinson's going to go 1 inning and pitch 1 scoreless inning, giving up nothing. That's Bill Atkinson. But right now, that's barring a double play. All right, here's Dawson. Barr to Dawson. Barr, and this is batter 26 for Barr, so he's getting close. 4-2 is a possible error on a ground ball. Dawson, 4-1. That's a single to right field. That's a 20, so there is no error. Question is, Mr. Clark has a -2 arm. Unser only runs at a 1, so he cannot go anywhere. Single to right field, you only gain 1, makes him a 2, and then the -2 from Clark freezes Unser at second base. He has no option to move up. So he will have to hold there. And now Wayne Garrett is going to pick up a bat and hit, and this will be the 27th batter for Barr. So the Giants have their bullpen working, and they have let's see who's coming up. They got right-handers coming up, so it looks like Mr. Randy Moffett loosening in their bullpen. We're going to see if Dawson can get a lead. He needs a 4 or less. He does not, so he will hold. Runners are at the corners with 1 out, and pinch hitter Wayne Garrett stepping to the plate. Infield playing back for the double play. 4-5, and that is a walk plus, and so he will draw the base on balls. That's why we bring a lefty in, because you get these splits. They have better right-handed hitters, but we're playing the percentages. And now the bases are loaded, and Barr is tired. That means anything in the parentheses, he has to come out, and S1 parentheses means 2 runs, and the game would be tied. So Jim Barr will be lifted, and Randy Moffett will be coming on to pitch. Randy Moffett. Pitcher spot's a long way off, so there's no need to double switch. But Randy Moffett will be summoned in from the bullpen. And Jim Barr's day is done, but we can't close the book on him yet. He's responsible for all 3 runners. He can win it, and he can also lose it. So definite responsibility for Randy Moffett to hold on and maintain this lead for his team. Cash is up with the bases loaded and 1 out. Infield will play back for a double play. So Randy Moffett is your pitcher. The only thing we know for sure, Jim Barr pitched 6 1/3 innings. He has given up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. No home runs. He walked, I believe, 2. These 2 right here, Marty and the pinch hitter Garrett, were his only 2 walks. And he only struck out 3. So that's the line there. He's given up 1 run, but this could change anything from 1 to 4, depending on what happens. All right, so the bases are loaded. Moffitt is a -1 double play. Keep in mind that, but they're still going to play back because of that. If you bring them in, the range factor really crunches you down. So they're going to play back for the double play. Moffitt to Cash. 5-6 is a blank. We go to Cash. He does have a 3 double play rating. 2-6, but that's a single to left field. Don't have to worry about a double play. It's a single to left. We know Unter is going to score from third. The question is, what does Dawson do? Dawson runs at a 3. Left fielder arm for the Giants is Evans. He's a 0. That's a 1 to 3. But then single to left, you add 1 more to score from second, makes him a 4. So 1 to 4, and Dawson will tie this game. That's a 6. It means he could possibly be out. So there we go, back again. Evans is a 0 arm. So 1 to 3, we go to the throw chart. 4 to 6, and he holds. That's a 3. We're going to the throw chart. So somebody's going to be out. Dawson runs again at a 3. That's a 5. Lead runner is thrown out. So Dawson's going to be out at the plate. 7 to 2. Let's see what it says here. If roll is higher than trailing runners base running, they hold. Yep, it's a 5. They're going to hold. So other runners could be at first and second. But Evans throws out Dawson trying to tie the game. That is 2 away and keeps the score at 3 to 2. And Tim Foley will be called back by the Expos. They need a pinch hitter. They need a pinch hitter big time. So they're looking to their bench. Do they go with the other lefty, Mike Jorgensen, or do you go maybe with somebody else? Jorgensen is a lefty, though, so coming out in his Oakland A's garb, he's going to be getting the pinch hitting duties. So the 2 lefties have been used. And so Jorgensen is going to pinch hit. And then playing shortstop, coming into play shortstop is going to be Pepe Frias. He will take over at short in the bottom of the inning, or top of the 8th, rather. Frias is a 4-0-0. All right, but it's Mike Jorgensen time. Hello, Frank. Good to see you. No, I didn't like the inter-squad matchup. Plus, Foley was only, what is he hitting? What did he hit? 221? I'd rather have a 242 hitter that's left-handed. So we'll go with the Oakland matchup instead. So runners at first and second, 2 down. Strategy rolls are still in effect. 20, so that means, but there's no pickoff chances, so we're not going to do anything with that. Moffitt, 3-4. That's a home run question mark to a left-hander. It's 1 to 7. That's a 9. It fails. So we go to Jorgensen. Can't get a home run, but he could get a hit. 6-4, he flies to center, and that's going to end the inning. But the Expos get a run, cut the lead to 3 to 2, and we need a new pitcher for Montreal as well. Frias will come in the game to play short. And the new pitcher, let's see who the Giants bring up. They bring up righty, lefty, lefty, so they might go to a left-hander. Former Red, Will McEnany, will be coming on for the Expos. So McEnany will be on, and we can close the book on Barr. He's going to give up 2 runs, both earned. All right, so McEnany will be facing Madlock, Evans, and McCovey here in the top of the 8th inning of what is now a 3-2 ball game. Yeah, don't get me started on Drysdale. Don't know how he got in the Hall. That's one of the mysteries of the world. All right, here is McEnany to Madlock, 3-2. That's a range play. But people can say that about any player that they don't think that. I mean, people have their own opinions about who deserves to get in and who doesn't. So 5-6. That's a single to third base, but it's a range play. Range play is on Parrish. His range though is only a 1, so not likely to get this. And he does not. It's going to be a base hit for Madlock. So Madlock base hit. His attempt is a 3, but the -1 from McEnany makes it a 2, and nothing happening there. Yeah, Cott got in because I think of his longevity and all those wins he had. Had a lot of losses too on top of that, but all right, here is Darrell Evans, lefty on lefty. 20, but again, nothing going on there. 3-1 wild pitch. That's a 3. It will be a wild pitch. So wild pitch will send Madlock to second base. And McEnany to Evans. 4-2, strikeout chance, 4, got him. So first out of the inning on a strikeout, and here's McCovey. For 1, that's an automatic out against the left-hander, and it will be a fly to right. 2 down. Now the question is, can Madlock make it to third? On a fly to right, you lose 1 on your base run rating. So he was a 3, becomes a 2, right fielder arm. Unser is a 0, so it's a 1-2. He makes it to third base. He does not. He's got a hold. So he will hold with 2 outs, and with first base open, they will walk Jack Clark intentionally and pitch to Gary Thomason, lefty on lefty. So we got Gary Thomason up, 2 on, 2 out against McEnany. That's a 1, but Madlock's not going to try to steal. 5-5 is a blank. Go to Thomason. 4-1, fly to right field, and that's going to end the inning. That's it for McEnany. He reached fatigue. He faced 5 batters. He faced all 5, and he is out of there. Plus, they got righties coming up anyway. So McEnany goes 1 inning, gives up a hit, no runs, walked 1 intentionally, and got a strikeout. So now Moffitt coming back in. Moffitt has only faced 2 batters, so he's still good to go. And he'll be facing Cromartie, Perez, and Parrish, heart of the order, for the Expos in a 3-2 ball game. Expos in the 9th. Looks like Joe Kerrigan is loosening up, and Joe Kerrigan will be coming on to pitch the 9th inning for the Expos. So that will leave Turpco and Worthen as the only 2 bench players or bullpen pitchers remaining. All right, so Moffitt facing. Well, thank you, Frank. There's a whole lot of guys on here that do really, really well and are very enjoyable to watch. Whether that be Al Red Sox fan, Dave Gardner, or RJL, or Tim Clee baseball fan, or take your pick. I don't want to start naming guys because I'm going to forget guys. Uncle Ron, can't forget about him. A lot of guys out there, a lot of guys. All right, here's Cromartie. 2-5, that's a strikeout, and that's a 2. He got him. First time they retire Cromartie. Here's Perez. 6-2 is a blank. We go to Perez. 5-1, star 4. It's ground ball to short. I agree, Frank. It's an ingenious game. The whole mechanics and everything is just really, really insightful. I just had my couple of issues with it that are the horse on, but other than that, it is really an outstanding game. I own many seasons and played all the time, so it's right there with Strat in my 1A and 1B ball games. 5-4 is a range play. Go to Larry Parrish for the range play. 1-3 is a star 4. That's ground ball to short. We're checking the range, but Daryl Thomas is only a 1, so that's pretty bad. And he's not going to get to it. That's going to be a base hit for Larry Parrish. Strategy rolls are still on, but I don't think Parrish is going to go anywhere. Roll it anyway, but no, he's not going anywhere. And Dell Unser is your batter. Moffitt now has faced 5 batters. This is batter number 6 right here. 1-1 is a walk plus, and he will walk him, and now he is tired. So a 2-out rally by the Expos and Gary Carter coming up. What do you do with Moffitt? Do you leave him in there tired, or do you bring in a lefty Lavelle, who's like their closer, against the righty Carter? Carter eats up left-handed pitching, though, so we are going to stick with Moffitt, and the Giants are going to hope he avoids the parentheses rolls. 2-2, hit by pitch, 6 plus 8's a 14, but that's a 19, so an inside pitch, but it does not hit him. Go to Carter, 5-5, star 6, fly to center, and that's going to end the inning, and that will do it for Moffitt. Moffitt's going to go an inning and 2/3. He held the fort, and they're going to turn it over to Gary Lavelle in the 9th inning to get the save, or at least attempt to get the save. Plus, they're going to pinch hit for Moffitt anyway. So Moffitt goes an inning and 2/3. He gives up 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. And the Expos need a new pitcher, and it is Joe Kerrigan to pitch the 9th inning. His spot is 2 spots away. So with that in mind, there will be a double switch for Dell Unser, I do believe, is coming out of this ball game. And we will see Ellis Valentine coming and play right field. And Ellis Valentine will bat 9th. So the double switch is on. Valentine in right field will bat 2nd next inning. Unser's out of the game, and now we have Joe Kerrigan, the pitcher, batting in the number 6 position. So Valentine's coming in on the double switch. Dell Unser will be leaving the game. Valentine comes into the number 9 position right behind Dawson for the bottom of the 9th. Joe Kerrigan will be facing Mark Hill and a pinch hitter for Moffitt. We'll see who the Giants want to use as a pinch hitter. Looking at their bench, Terry Whitfield is the most likely candidate. He's the only lefty. So they will be going to Terry Whitfield. He's also a .285 hitter, so not a bad candidate there either. So Terry Whitfield will be your pinch hitter. After Hill hits. So it's Hill and then Whitfield and then Thomas. So Kerrigan. Kerrigan to Hill, 1-4, strikeout chance, 13 is too high. We go to Hill. 2-1, ground ball to 3rd, 1 away. And now Whitfield, the pinch hitter, .285 on the season. Again, 326 at bats, but a cookie cutter card. Just got to shake my head. 2-4, and that's a walk plus, so he will draw the walk. It's a pinch hit walk for Whitfield. Strategy rolls are still on. It's only a 1-run game. His attempt is a 1. They're not going to go anywhere. Here's Daryl Thomas. 3-2, possible error on a throw. 3-2 again, and that's a single to second. Anytime there's an infield single like that, there are never any throws. It's all done by the chart. Runner's going to get the base automatically, or he's got to hold automatically. So on the S4, Whitfield runs at a 3. So S4 to get to third. 3 is all you need. Actually, 3 is all you need. So he does get third base. So runners are now at the corners. Runners are at the corners. With 1 out. Thomas with an attempt of 4. Does not get the lead. Here's Rob Andrews. Infield. Infield's going to play in. They can't trust the double play. They got to play in. 1-6 is the ballpark card going to Stade Olympique. 4-5, and we get a rare play. Just what we need, a rare play. So we'll go to the rare play chart with men on base. Not sure I wanted a rare play right at this particular point of the game. This is what happens. 16. Triple play chances, line out into as many outs as possible. We don't need a triple play because there were already 1 out, so it's just going to be a line out double play. Let's see where the line out went. Roll 1d6 to see who catches the line out. That's a shortstop, so he's going to line it to short, and they're going to double off Thomas at second with a double play to end the inning. Yep, Kurt Berglund, another one. See if that's another. If I start trying to list names, I'm going to forget people. That's why I don't like doing that, because I'm inevitably going to offend somebody by leaving them out. Giants will have a pitching change and also a double switch. Johnny LeMaster will come in and play short for Thomas, and he will bat in the number 9 position. At shortstop. And the pitcher spot, Lavelle will go in number 1 on the double switch. LeMaster's a 5-17, where Thomas is a 1 range. So they definitely want a better defender in there. And that's what they'll have. But Last Chance Saloon coming up. And entering the game, trying to wrap it up for the Giants, will be left-hander Gary Lavelle. He had 20 saves in 1977. He'll be facing Dawson, Valentine, and Cash, 3 right-handers. But he's the best you have. He's their closer. So lefty or righty, he is the closer. All right, here is Lavelle to Dawson. 5-2. That's a home run question mark. 1-4, it fails. So we'll go to Dawson. 4-4. And that's a star 6, which is a fly to right. So Dawson is out of there on the fly out to right field. Got to write Gary Lavelle's name in here. All right, here is Ellis Valentine. Came in on the double switch earlier. His first at bat. 1-1's a blank. That K plus is for lefties. 4-5, and that is against the lefties, a straight up home run to left field to tie this ball game because of the double switch. Well, I probably would have used him as a pinch hitter anyway, but still. 4-5, Ellis Valentine, a straight out home run in the grid. You don't see that as often, but there is an H right there against left-handed pitching, and Ellis Valentine has just tied this ball game. And the last inside pitch game I did last night, I thought the game was over and ended up going extra innings, and it went like 12 or 13 innings. I'm hoping this is not the case this time. We don't need that again. All right, here is Cash now. 5-5 is a range play. 4-3. It's ground ball to short. That's why we bring in LeMaster. His range is a 5. Thomas was only a 1. That's a 1 Thomas would have made it anyway, but you're still going to bring in the guy that's a 5. No question about that. So it's looking more and more like extra innings. Pepe Frias came in on that double switch when they pinch hit for, well, came in for defense rather when they pinch hit for Foley. So this is his first at bat. 6-6 is a blank. 4-1, that's a single to left. So how about that? Frias gets a base hit. His attempt, though, is only a 1. Can't get it. So it's up to the Crow, Warren Camardi. Lefty on lefty. 4-4, that's a strikeout chance. 15 too high. We go to Cromartie. 6-3, it's a double to center field. This could end it. There are 2 outs. Frias, look at his card. Frias runs at a 2. With 2 outs, it becomes a 3. The double went to center field. Thomason's arm is a 0. So it's a 1-3, but with the base running adjustments, double to center, you gain 1, makes it a 1-4. So 1-4, and the Expos will win this game. 5, Frias has to hold. 6, he might be out. That's 2. It's over. Frias slides in safely, and the Expos come back with 2 in the bottom of the 9th. Warren Cromartie, obviously the player of the game, going 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, a single, and the game-winning RBI as Gary Lavelle takes the tough loss, giving up 2 in the 9th, and the Giants blow it against the Expos. Joe Kerrigan gets the win. He went 1 inning, gave up a hit, no runs, a walk, and no strikeouts, but Kerrigan will get the win. The loss goes to Lavelle. Lavelle went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 3 hits and 2 runs. Nothing else. So your final line score, Expos 4, Giants 3. For the Expos, 4 runs on 12 hits. And I don't believe there's an error on either side. I don't remember there being an error on either side. Giants got 10 hits, so 3-10-0 for the Giants. So 4-12-0 for the Expos, 3-10-0 for the Giants. And your player of the game, the Crow, Warren Camardi, walks it off. 9th inning magic, as RJL would say if he was here. Can't believe he missed an inside pitch game. Must be doing, maybe he's got a hot date tonight. I don't know. It's Saturday night. You never know. He could have a hot date. But there you go. Gary Lavelle, despite his 20 saves, he just blew it. And Warren Camardi found the number he needed, that 6-3. And Frias slid in under the tag to send the Expos fans home happy. So that's going to do it from here. Next game on the video, or next game on the channel, we'll be back to Stratomatic. We'll start our May 10th games, and the first May 10th game is going to take us right back to Fenway Park, or as they say up north, Fenway Park, and it will be the California Angels against the Boston Red Sox. It'll be Bruce Hurst against Don Sutton in that matchup. But that's going to do it from here. Hope you all, hey Rod, didn't see you sneak in there. Hope you all enjoyed that presentation of Inside Pitch. And for the the gentleman that was looking for help on a couple of those rules, hopefully my explanation in the beginning made sense. And of course, it came up a couple times in the actual game itself. So hopefully between those 2 things, those questions were answered. We can hope so. If not, RJL will be doing a slow playthrough very shortly to start his 1999 replay. So that's a good source to check into. On Inside Pitch, let me see who the next game is on Inside Pitch. Do I have that schedule in front of me? I have to look it up. Who do I have as the next game? That will take just a second to pull that up. Next inside pitch matchup, 1977, will be moving to April the 25th. And on April 25th, we will have if I can find it. Here we go. These are the next 3 games to be played. I've already got the reserve boards printed out. But the next 3 games to be played, the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th, Dodgers will be facing the Padres. That'll be the next game in inside pitch. Then the Battle of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia will be taking on Pittsburgh. And then we'll see these same Expos again as they travel to Shea Stadium to take on the Mets. So those are the next 3 games scheduled on inside pitch. And again, tomorrow at some point, most likely the morning, could be the evening, most likely will be the morning, we will have California at Boston. Final game of that series starting in the May 10th block. And it'll be Bruce Hurst, the lefty, against Don Sutton, the veteran right-hander. So once again, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hope you are having a wonderful weekend, staying cool wherever you are. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.